Imagine a conscious contact with God so strong that no matter what you are doing or not doing, that no matter what your kids are up to or not up to, and that whether you've got the person of your dreams or they're just not cooperating, that you are happy, content, and at peace. A space where everyone else's thoughts, attitudes, and actions are beautiful and exactly as they are supposed to be. Well, this is the space where I like to play. My name is Misha Z, and this is today's Bitch Slap. Join me as I shed light on the thoughts, actions, and attitudes that are causing you pain, and we train our minds to go to the capital S inner self, the joy that is waiting for us, the God within.
I am so involved with the summit in a good way. I'm all in, fully committed, reaching out to speakers, creating videos to introduce myself, personal videos on a little screen app called Loom. It's super cool. Working on my speaker landing page where speakers can get all the details on the summit. But really sending out the main thing is committing to sending out the emails. And I have an interview set up, so it is happening. It was interesting today. I did have a little bit of screen freeze. It's what we called it back in the commodities brokers days, where as a commodities broker back in the day, or for example, a stock trader, or like a financial advisor. It's different these days with the financial advisors because they have the wrap fees. So they just take a percentage of your account every year, like 1% or whatever it is. But back in the day, it was transactional. So you needed to have transactions to generate revenue. And in the commodities business, highly speculative. Your Vegas money. Our customers needed to have Vegas money. It needed to be money that they were willing to lose, because it's like Vegas on steroids. We'll save that for another day. But we had this thing called screen freeze. So as a retail commodities broker, I got paid when people executed trades and placed bets and took risks and were involved in the action. And when a commodities broker would get screen freeze, they would get fixated on the charts and the ticks and it's like the stock ticker going up and down, and they would freeze looking at the screen. So they wouldn't take action. They wouldn't make the calls to customers. They wouldn't make the recommendations. They wouldn't place trades. They would be frozen by the screen. And so I use that term a lot. I haven't really been on this podcast, but I like it when you're working or you're entrepreneurial or you're needing to be creative. You can get screen freeze where you don't take action, and the fear of taking action stops you. So you plan, or as my coach Vince was telling me, I was in student mode, studying, and he's like, you got to quit studying and you've got to take action. So I did have some screen freeze today because I needed to create some personalized videos, and a few other things. But it took me a bit, but I broke through and it feels really good. So all in all, I've got great momentum. I'm through that creative hump. I came across a great quote. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Bear with me. How do you like this dead space? Oh, here it is, the Gary V quote. I happen to be listening to I'm all in on listening to Gary Vee right now just because he's so much about just do it. Don't worry about what people say or think or their comments. Just take action, take the messy action. And he said on this great interview, fall in love with your process and not the trophies that come from your process. So fall in love with your process, not the trophies that come with your process. And so the trophies that come with your process can be subscribers, looks, likes, smiley faces, whatever, thumbs ups, subscribers. If I already said that, or maybe it's financial, could be financial, the financial trophy. But it really resonated with me because my creative process, I definitely come to some screen freeze moments, some hurdles, and but when I've broken through, those moments are very short lived. So anyway, a little bit of a screen freeze moment, but I divert. Purpose of this podcast was really to tell you about this day that I had. Was not today. It was back actually on 3/28/21. So what is that? March 28th. On March 28th, I came out of this prayer, or excuse me, this ridiculous meditation. I took notes. I'm going to read you what came to me. I took notes and then I did the A Course in Miracles. And this is what I downloaded. God, and these are my notes that I wrote down, or the prayer that I wrote down. God, who would you have me bring on this summit? God, what would you have me call this summit? God, how would you have me use this summit to serve your purpose? God, who would you bring in to help me do this summit? So the who's. God, would you have me do this summit? God, the timing? Question mark. Some answers. Yes, yes, I would. Don't fear the ego, my son. That my son is a little dogmatic. It kind of freaks me out even reading it or saying it. But hey, it was an A Course in Miracles moment. And keep in mind, too, when I say God, like I'm talking about the non-dogmatic God, the God, for lack of a better term, the God, the capital S inner self, the infinity, the master intelligence, the creative intelligence, whatever it is. So please, please enjoy this as I use the God term non-dogmatically. However, the don't fear the ego, my son. Ooh, that's pretty thick. But anyway, yes, I would. Don't fear the ego, my son. Laugh at him, my ego. Smile at him, the ego. He is not real. And I love that. It will unfold to my timeline. That's the capital S self's timeline. It will unfold according to my timeline. It is unfolding as I see fit. You just get to enjoy it, the ride. And you being me, of course. And it has already happened. And I love that thought. That's sort of Joe Dispenza-ish, like we've already experienced things. Anyway, I have a friend, Lisa, who often I reference or will throw on some of our banter on some episodes, but she's a big Joe Dispenza fan. And she talks about things that have already happened that we're waiting, like the summit. It's like, don't worry about it. It's already happened. But God, who would you have me bring to this summit? That is happening now. The invites are going out. People are responding. What would you have me call the summit? Obviously, it is the Tools for a Good Life Summit. And man, what a process that was. God, who would you have me use? Oh, no. God, how would you have me use the summit to serve your purposes? Well, we will see. Who would you bring me in to help me do the summit? And potential who's are coming and going. I found another who has surfaced after I did a little research and seems like a super good guy, uses some of the same lingo that I do. He even replied back with a Coolio. Coolio. Anyway, I'm sort of rambling now, but I just was going through some old notes, and I thought that day was so powerful back on March 28th, because although the turmoil was not done for me, as far as being the all in on the summit, it was a definite turning point where the name came clear. The title of the summit, headlines, that I shifted from obsessing on the headlines. And it was a springboard to this point. So it was very poignant for me. I have said enough. Oh, one other thing I wanted to start adding. If you haven't yet, please go leave me a positive review or a positive rating on the Apple podcast. If you're listening on Apple or whatever platform you're on, if you're liking this and it's 5-star-ish, go give me a 5-star rating. That would be awesome. I think with the vision of what I'm doing, I could use a few ratings. So if you're enjoying it and feel compelled to take 17 seconds, I think that's what Gary V said it takes when he asks for that. Please leave me a rating. Take 17 seconds. If not, totally cool. Love to all.
Thank you for spending time with me today. As someone who is committed to growth and service to this world, I so appreciate your willingness to come with me, go within, and serve our world through change. If you found value in this podcast and you know someone who can use this message, share this episode with them. Share it so our mission can be achieved one episode at a time. And of course, subscribe so you can hear more. And lastly, for more resources on what has helped me on my journey and can help you on yours, go to belove.media/resources. That's BELOVE.media/resources. Thank you again for listening.